Thank you very much, Mrs. Shepard, for that very kind introduction. Chairman Rathie and the Board of Trustees, Head of School, Mrs. Shepard, Academy administrators, esteemed faculty, distinguished and fellow alumni, parents, friends, and the Morgan Park Academy class of 2016. It is my privilege to be invited here to provide the commencement address. I can think of no higher alumni honor than to have the opportunity I have today to stand on the steps of Alumni Hall, steps I took each school day from September of 1961 to June of 1973, to be at a school that had such an incredible impact on the person that I've become. To give the commencement address at Morgan Park Academy is a humbling experience, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Thank you. Congratulations, class of 2016. The diploma you're about to receive is a major achievement that represents the strong educational foundation you have been provided at Morgan Park Academy. You will find, as I have, that foundation will serve you very well. Over time, you'll gain an even greater appreciation for the significance of what you have accomplished. Though it was 42 years ago that I was sitting where you are now, it seems like only yesterday. It's easy for me to think about the things you may be thinking about at this very moment, the parties you'll be attending over the next few days, the family celebrations, and spending time with friends, many of whom may be going different directions in the fall. I also found graduation day to be a time of reflection. I had attended Morgan Park Academy from first grade through 12th grade, virtually my entire life. Even when we were not in school, I was at the academy, playing pickup football here in Jones Bowl, or in pickup basketball over in the gymnasium, or perhaps helping a teacher with a summer project, or in the office talking with Coach Jones. Sure, I was looking forward to going to New Orleans and starting the next phase of my life at Tulane University. But underneath my cool 70s facade, I was nervous. I was anxious, and yes, I was a little scared. To be frank, it was difficult for me to imagine life without Morgan Park Academy. This is such a special place. I enrolled in first grade at Morgan Park Academy in 1961 and graduated as part of the centennial class of 1973. A few of my classmates are here today. Great to see you. I imagine several of you were surprised to learn that I'd be giving the commencement address. Well, let me tell you, I was surprised too. I have very positive, wonderful memories of my classmates. I hope to represent the class of 73 well today. Thank you for being here. By the way, I have the distinct but little known honor of being one of the first two students to attend the academy from first through 12th grade. Yes, we are known as the first MPA lifers. I believe we have 3 lifers in the graduating class of 2016. Shreya Chandra, Max Ruiz, Donnie Williams. Would you please stand up? Perhaps we should start our own MPA Lifer Club. What do you think? I know well how much hard work and perseverance was required to make it to this day. I also know what an indelible mark the Academy will have made on your lives, just as it has on mine. Congratulations, a special congratulations to you. Oh, and by the way, lifers, there is life after MPA. It's great to be back on campus. Such a beautiful day, such a beautiful neighborhood, Beverly Morgan Park. I was raised not far from here at 108th and Longwood Drive. I walk to school most days. It's about 5 blocks away if you cut through Bill Belote's backyard and the Morgan Park Methodist Church parking lot. Being here today really feels like home. My grandmother always reminded me, home is where the heart is. My heart will always be at the Academy. And graduates, I hope you will always feel this to be home as well. It's no coincidence that I've spent the last 25 years of my career working in the railroad industry. I'm a third-generation railroader. My grandfather worked for the Illinois Central Railroad for 42 years, and my mother was an executive assistant at the same railroad, serving 5 different CEOs. A very unique accomplishment. Mom was tops at what she did and was a strong role model for me with respect to a work ethic and professionalism. My mother and father had divorced when I was 2, and I was raised by my mother and grandparents. I am so proud of all that she accomplished. Rarely does a day pass that I don't think about how fortunate I am to have had a mother who believed in the importance of an excellent education. Not just an education, but an excellent education. My mother first became acquainted with Morgan Park Academy in the 1940s when it was a military school. She and the other young ladies who attended Academy of Our Lady, a Catholic girls' preparatory school on 95th Street, were often invited to the academy for school dances with the cadets. Perhaps you had a dance with Mom, Denny. By the time I was ready for first grade, Morgan Park Academy was a co-educational college preparatory school and her first choice for me. My mother knew that investing in my education would provide many opportunities for my long-term growth and development. It wasn't easy for her. She sacrificed financially and personally so I could attend the academy. I'm very, very grateful for those sacrifices. What a great gift she gave me by allowing me to go to school here. Class of 2016, your parents have given you that same wonderful gift. And parents of the class of 2016, you've sent a clear message to your sons and daughters about the importance of an excellent education. I understand the great pride you feel today and the sacrifices you made so that your child could attend this school. Congratulations to you, and on behalf of Morgan Park Academy, thank you for placing such trust and confidence in our school. Parents, I applaud you. Being asked to give the commencement address at the Academy is definitely an honor. I quickly realized, however, that composing a meaningful commencement address for your alma mater is no small undertaking. Like most alumni, I've only been involved peripherally with the Academy since my graduation. I read the school magazine, scan the website from time to time, and have returned for a couple of class reunions. Nevertheless, as I started to think about my comments today, I quickly developed some key topics that I wanted to cover based on my experiences, including those 40 and 50 years ago at MPA. Then it occurred to me that it might be a good idea to visit the campus. Meet with students, meet with faculty, talk with the administration, and make sure my thoughts were still relevant. I wanted to feel and touch the academy, to develop a firsthand view of what was occurring on campus, and to gain insight into what, if anything, had changed. I'm very glad that I did, and I ended up learning a lot more than I anticipated. My visit to the academy brought to life the saying, the more things change, the more they remain the same. There's no question that much has changed since 1973. Imagine students using encyclopedias, slide rules, and typewriters instead of the internet, calculators, and laptops used today. We played football, and the girls were cheerleaders. In fact, girls' sports were limited to field hockey, volleyball, and basketball. Basketball played with 6 players on a side, with the girls wearing blouses and skirts. As compared to the 6 competitive girls' teams, high school teams, the academy fielded this past year. In the 60s and 70s, our field trips were limited to the greater Chicago area. I probably visited the Museum of Science and Industry and Field Museum a dozen times each during my 12 years at the academy. Today, academy students are encouraged to travel the world, places like Thailand and Peru, places I only knew as names on a map. But on a deeper level, things were still the same. When I met with Mrs. Shepard and Mr. Hermosia, I found they share the same commitment to creating an environment for excellence in education as did Mr. Jones and Mrs. Theodore, the administrators who were here when I was a student. And when I met with Coach Perizzo, the athletic director, I found the same deep-rooted belief that competitive athletics supports the development of critical life skills such as leadership, discipline, perseverance, and teamwork. A belief shared by Coach Jones, Coach Cleary, and Coach Cahill, a few of the men who coached me during my years at Morgan Park Academy. I could easily take my entire allotted time today sharing the impact Coach Jones had on my life and my becoming a man. And when I met with Academy faculty, Mr. Drahosel, Mr. Malcolm, Mrs. Amberg, Ms. Burgess, Mrs. Drown, I found committed, engaged professionals utilizing the latest teaching techniques and resources, but with the same focus, core skills development, as Mr. Scanlon, Mrs. George, and Dr. Brown, some of my teachers. Today's faculty also shared the same intense interest in helping each student achieve his or her unique potential and holding them accountable for high achievement, as did Mr. Collar, Mr. Lentz, and Mr. Kronk. They held me accountable for achieving my unique potential. The more things change, the more they remain the same. My meetings in recent time on campus assured me that the core values of excellence in education, developing individuals to achieve their unique potential, and holding students accountable are still firmly entrenched in the fabric of this great institution. I was assured that no matter how much had changed since I was a student in the 60s and the 70s, the Academy at its core is still the same. Another thing that has not changed is the Academy's focus on developing leaders. Early in its history, the Academy developed future military leaders. Eventually, its focus shifted to developing leaders in business and commerce, medicine, education, and law. Now the Academy sets its sights on preparing tomorrow's global leaders. Global leaders. That's a lofty goal, but a worthy goal and a goal worth striving for. Our world is increasingly interconnected via technology, via trade, via travel, education, and immigration. It is becoming increasingly clear we need global leaders who respect and celebrate each other's differences, leaders who are willing to forge a common understanding so they can work together to make a positive difference in the world. And that's what I saw happening at Morgan Park Academy. Students from a wide variety of ethnic, cultural, and religious backgrounds studying together, competing together, learning to appreciate and embrace one another's traditions and differences. This was underscored during the highlight of my campus visit, meeting with students Justice Pugh, Hiba Katurji, Shreya Chandra, and Madison Delaney. Let the truth be known, they were probably more excited about the pizza and cake pops being served at our lunch than they were about actually speaking with me. Wow, what an impressive group of young people. While I recognize they are school and class leaders, I have no doubt that these 4 students are representative of the caliber and focus of the entire class of 2016. As I spoke with the seniors, I was struck by their maturity and insight. They talked about embracing cultural diversity. They used words like acceptance, understanding, and respect. They talked about inclusion and attempting to find common ground. They referenced a strong sense of community at the Academy. They spoke about engaging others and listening openly to dissenting ideas and opinions and respecting others with different faiths, nationalities, and beliefs. Now, this was different from when I attended the Academy. When I graduated from the Academy in 1973, cultural diversity referred to someone who didn't live in Beverly Morgan Park. Sure, Mr. Skelton, one of the fine educators at MPA at the time and an inveterate world traveler, did all he could in his social studies class to introduce us to different religions and cultures from around the world through textbooks, movies, and slideshows from his global treks. But that was only one class, and he shared with us things that were worlds away, with seemingly little impact on our daily lives here. Keep in mind, the Academy first integrated in 1969, my freshman year. My graduating class, the class of '73, was the first to include an African American student. At that point, my exposure to other cultures was limited to a Jewish classmate's bar mitzvah and understanding that my dear Greek Orthodox friends often celebrated Easter on a different day than Catholics and Protestants. But today's Morgan Park Academy students live cultural diversity every day. They are comfortable with diversity. They are comfortable in this multiracial, multi-faith, increasingly diverse world. Their degree of comfort is remarkable. But they do more than accept it. They embrace it. Wow. If only all the leaders of our nation could behave similarly, think about how much greater our already great nation could become. Class of 16, please hold on to these perspectives around diversity. Don't be dissuaded from this vision of what society could be. You have special insight, perspective to share with others. Actually, listening to you during lunch that day made me reflect on my leadership roles and the importance of my leadership skills. You made me revisit the effectiveness of my personal filters. Do I embrace people of different ideas, faiths, races? Do I listen to others openly? Do I work to include others that may be different? These are all great lessons for me certainly as a business and community leader. Thank you. I came to the Academy to learn about you. Instead, I ended up learning from you. Apparently, not only did I return to the Academy that day, I had also returned to school. Just another example of how life learning never ends. Leadership is a theme that's been mentioned several times this morning. The Academy clearly lays a foundation for global leadership in a variety of ways, integrating global studies into the curriculum, encouraging international travel, and recruiting international students to the student body. The Academy also offers hands-on opportunities for leadership through activities such as student council, the house system, service projects, athletics, the arts, and special events like Academy Day. And the Academy teaches leadership by valuing failure as much as success. It provides a supportive environment for those who try and fail. In my opinion, this is absolutely critical to building the confidence that's necessary to build a leader. When we try and fail, we are smarter the next time around. We're more confident about asking the right questions and making the tough choices. Some of my greatest learning experiences stem from situations where I failed. Far better to try and fail than to never try at all. Remember, the Major League Baseball home run champion is not the player who bats one time and hits one home run. It's the player who goes to the plate 500 times and hits 40 home runs. Morgan Park Academy understands the importance of the formative experience of failure. I'd like to share just a few additional personal insight about not just leadership, but what I view to be the keys to great leadership. I spent a lot of time thinking about leadership in my role at Trinity Industries. At Trinity, I lead an organization composed of more than 10,000 people throughout North America. Trinity Rail manufactures, leases, manages, and services rail cars. An organization like Trinity Rail, that includes 10,000 people, clearly needs leaders in a wide variety of areas. We need strong leaders to run our complex businesses, identify and seek new growth opportunities, and develop other future leaders. As an organization, we continually focus on developing leaders. It's a significant personal responsibility of mine, and my own leadership skills are constantly developing and expanding even today. Jack Welch, the chairman and CEO of the General Electric Company from 1981 to 2001, and one of the great business leaders of my generation, helped shape my thoughts about great leadership. His framework is based upon three key skills. First, great leaders create visions of what they want their businesses, their groups, their teams to be, to achieve. Secondly, they effectively communicate their vision to colleagues, stakeholders, teammates, to develop a shared understanding, to gain alignment. And then thirdly, they relentlessly drive execution through hard work, discipline, and teamwork. This is, in my view, the essential model, the essential framework for great leaders. Visionaries are almost always independent thinkers. Independent thinkers don't see things others don't. They make connections among patterns, activities, and perspectives in their mind's eye that others may miss. As a result, they see opportunities, challenges, and problems associated with situations long before others are able to do so. They are able to visualize what could be rather than what is. Graduates, think about that. What could be rather than what is. Seeing beyond the present to the possibilities of the future is the foundation for charting new directions that drive growth, discovery, improvement, innovation, and differentiation, and not just in business. It applies to the teams you're a part of, for the not-for-profits that you volunteer, your places of worship, your families, and yourself. Visualizing what could be as opposed to what is, and then making those visions become a reality is ultimately how we make our world a better place in which to live, work, and raise families. During my meeting with faculty on campus, Mr. Malcolm summarized independent thinking this way. He said, "It's not that we want our students to think outside the box. It's that we want them to create a bigger box and then think outside of that." That's the type of empowering guidance at Morgan Park Academy that enables independent thinking that is critical for great leaders to create compelling visions. There is more to leadership than thinking, however. Independent thinking skills mean little if you're unable to communicate what it is you want to accomplish with those who can help you accomplish it. Great leaders are able to articulate to others what they are thinking. They paint pictures for others of what they see in their mind's eyes. They use different forms of communication to help others see beyond what currently exists to what could be. Great leaders are responsible for communicating effectively. They view communications as a two-way street. They value the input of others and actively leverage others' strengths as they think, plan, and do. They know that collaboration usually results in greater results and better outputs. Because of this, they are active listeners, ask thought-provoking, open-ended questions, and give serious consideration to the answers provided. Great leaders are engaged and good at engaging others. By definition, leadership is a contact sport. Great leaders capture the hearts and the souls of those they lead. Their enthusiasm, their authenticity, their focus, and their drive inspire others to be involved, to follow, to make it happen. And great leaders relentlessly drive things through to completion. To do so, most important, great leaders build great teams to accomplish making their vision become a reality. This, in my experience, is the key differentiator for great leaders. I've seen leaders fail because they lacked vision, and I've seen visionaries who simply had poor vision. More common are great leaders, great visionaries who fall short because of poor execution and the lack of effective teamwork. I'm a firm believer in the collective strengths of people. Working together, great things can be accomplished with great teamwork. I learned this at the Academy. It's been foundational to my leadership. Here I learned the value of discipline, focus, perseverance, and teamwork. The championship teams of which I was a part may not have been the most athletically talented or great in number, but I was confident that none of our competition had practiced harder, were better prepared, or had a stronger sense of team than the Warriors. I'm very proud to be part of that legacy. And I feel the same way about my Trinity Rail team. Despite today's highly competitive environment, we produced record earnings the last 3 consecutive years. An incredible achievement, a testimonial to the collective strength of an engaged team, a great team. When people truly work in a team framework, great things can happen. Indeed, 1 + 1 equals more than 2. People generally want to be part of something successful, something special, and great leaders increase the probability of success by assembling great teams, coaching those team members, and looking for ways to help them achieve their unique potential. Great leaders lead by example, they walk the talk, and ask only from others what they are prepared to offer of themselves. So in my view, my experience, great leaders have vision, supported by independent thinking, they communicate effectively with others, and they relentlessly drive execution to make their vision a reality through exceptional teamwork. America's 6th president, John Quincy Adams, summarized great leadership in this manner: if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, become more, you are a great leader. There is no question that our world is in need of great leaders. Why not you, class of 2016? Embrace the opportunity for greatness. Cause greatness. You've been well trained to think independently. You've been taught the skills to effectively communicate, and you are comfortable working with a different type of people. Go forth in the spirit of President Adams. Inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, become more. Be great leaders. I'd like to close my remarks today by sharing one last insight from my day on campus. During my lunch with the seniors, I asked if there was anything in particular they would like to hear from me during my commencement address. At first, they seemed hesitant to speak their minds, but finally one of them told me it would be acceptable if I told them that everything would be okay. In fact, this student told me he could not hear it enough. Well, Justice, and the entire class of 2016, I'm here to tell you that everything is going to be okay. In fact, what I know about your families and the commitment they've made to seeing that you have an opportunity for an excellent education, and what I know about the skills and experiences that you've had here at Morgan Park Academy, and what I know about you, I think you're going to be more than okay. I think you're going to be great. So go forth, bring favor and distinction to Morgan Park Academy through your actions, through your accomplishments, through your thinking, and through your great leadership. I'm proud to know that you're going to be joining the men and women of the 142 classes before you as representatives of this school. Thank you very much for allowing me to share in this special day with you. May God bless you all, and thank you all very much.